Blind date in a restaurant. Who picks up the tab? And can somebody wind up in jail? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It follows a real couple in Ohio. And there was a gal, Melissa Bickel, who apparently had met this fella online and was having her first date with him. And in this first date, she arrived at the restaurant and he was already having a beer and had some food that he is already eating. And she sat down and they began a conversation. At one point in time, she went to the restroom, came back, and he was gone. He just took off. He was gone. Well, she received the bill for the food. She said, "This is outrageous. This bill is for $130. All I had was a small salad, a glass of wine, and a glass of beer. No, this is an outrageous bill." Well, the waiter adjusted the bill, came in at $50. She said, "I'm not going to pay $50, not going to pay this." He said, "Ma'am, you need to pay it." When she continued to refuse, the waiter called the police. Police officer showed up. Police officer showed up and said, "Ma'am, you need to pay the bill or you're engaged in theft." She said, "I'm not going to pay this bill. I'm not going to pay this bill." Well, she was arrested. She was arrested. Now, later, the officer knew the man that she was dating. He'd gone to school with him. He went to the man's home, said, "What's going on here?" The guy said, "Well, this is what happened." So the fella went to the restaurant the next day and paid the bill in its entirety. But in the interim, Melissa felt absolutely humiliated by all of this, and she then brought suit. She sued the restaurant and the police force. Sued the police force for alleged police brutality. The case was filed in federal court. The case went forward. Motions were filed which basically said this case should not be here, and there is not a basis for a claim. Well, the court listened to these arguments, and as to the restaurant, found that there was no basis for the claim. The restaurant did nothing wrong. As to the police force, because there was an allegation of police brutality, alleged police brutality, the court said that case can go forward. That case can go forward. But to a large extent, that really is somewhat technical in nature, because the pleading said there was police brutality. Melissa still has to show that there was police brutality. So she's still got a long way to go here. All right. Well, what do we learn from this case? Well, one thing, maybe you should have a little better handle on who you're having a blind date with. And two, guess what? If you're the last person standing when the blind date is over, you owe the restaurant the amount that was billed for that meal. Okay. We bring you this case as we bring cases every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.